Coming up on UMTV News, Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air after suspension, but not everywhere. We'll bring you the details.
Plus, Trump under pressure at the United Nations Assembly today on the issue of the statehood of Palestine. We'll give you the latest.
And later on, how one Miami community is making a difference in the lives of those who are less fortunate.
These stories and more coming up on UMTV News.
It starts right now. Good afternoon and welcome to UMTV News. I'm Juliana Warnock.
And I'm Johnny Mushton. Thank you for joining us. Breaking news, Ryan Routh, the man accused of trying to assassinate Donald Trump in 2024 at Mar-a-Lago, has been found guilty of all charges.
Routh now faces up to life in prison as the guilty verdict was read just a short time ago. Routh reportedly tried to use a pen to stab himself in the neck. He was then escorted out of the courthouse. After less than 3 hours of deliberation, the government charged Routh on 5 criminal counts. Those include attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate and assaulting a federal officer, plus several firearm violations.
Jimmy Kimmel Show is coming back. ABC announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to air Tuesday night, and he will address the controversy during his opening monologue. The show was abruptly and indefinitely taken off the air last Wednesday after criticism over Kimmel's monologue about the MAGA movement's response to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr and networks of affiliate stations have threatened ABC over the remarks, but many came together to protest the suspension, calling it an assault on free speech.
It is our enduring duty as Americans to uphold our right to free speech, not just for Jimmy Kimmel and the hundreds of people who work for him, but for the preservation of our Constitution.
On Monday, a spokesperson for Disney, which owns ABC, said they suspended the show to cool tension over the comments. They said they felt some of Kimmel's comments were poorly timed and thus insensitive. But after thoughtful conversations with Kimmel, they reached the decision to bring the show back Tuesday. Sinclair Broadcasting, which owns numerous local TV stations, says it will preempt the show instead of news programming. And Nexstar, which owns ABC affiliate stations, says it too will preempt the show.
Almost 200 world leaders or national representatives are in the U.S. today. They're attending the 80th National United Nations General Assembly. President Trump addressed them this morning. He's been trying to position himself as a peacemaker. Trump also met with the Ukrainian president today. But his efforts around Gaza don't seem to be enough for many UN members who are pushing for Palestinian statehood. President Donald Trump is in New York to address the UN General Assembly. The White House says he'll tout U.S. strength and what he considers his personal accomplishments.
He will articulate his straightforward and constructive vision for the world.
Many are waiting to hear what, if anything, Trump says about Gaza. Roughly 80% of UN members now back Palestinian statehood after several recognized it this week.
We need to give the Palestinians hope for the future and also make sure that the Israelis can live in peace.
What we saw here at the UN, it's actually supporting Hamas. It doesn't support ending of the war.
Recognizing a Palestinian state is largely symbolic without the U.S., and the Trump administration is not pushing for that statehood. In fact, it's barring Palestinian leaders from the General Assembly by denying them visas.
I call upon Israel to immediately sit on the negotiating table, to put an end to this bloodshed.
The State Department rejects a recent UN conference on a two-state solution. As for Trump himself, here he is in July, deferring to the Israeli Prime Minister on the topic.
I don't know. I'd ask Bibi that question. You have the greatest man in the world to answer that age-old question, two-state.
One UN inquiry has concluded that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Besides the issue on Palestinian statehood, Trump is also making waves after putting out a warning about a possible link between the use of acetaminophen and autism. Trump said his administration will notify doctors about what it says can be a very increased risk of autism in a pregnant woman's use of acetaminophen. The pain reliever is commonly known by the brand name Tylenol. Trump and several members of his health team made the announcement at the White House on Monday.
Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Medical professionals have long recommended Tylenol as one of the safest painkillers to take during pregnancy. Other experts say autism is caused by a number of factors and note a suggested link between Tylenol use during pregnancy and autism is not settled science.
In some Miami neighborhoods, fresh food can be hard to come by, but some local organizations are working to change that. Melanie Lowe is live in Coral Gables with more on how one program provides healthy meals to those in need. Melanie?
Johnny, according to Feeding America, nearly 15% of the population in Miami-Dade County doesn't know where their next meal is coming from. And of that number, Black and Hispanic residents are the most likely to experience food insecurity. I took a look at one special program that aims to just bring more than vegetables to the community.
In neighborhoods where grocery stores are scarce, gardens such as this one in Opa-locka, not far from Miami, are more than transformed parking lots. They're lifelines. The organization that created them is called Health in the Hood, and its mission is to provide free and fresh produce to residents in need.
They need the gardens because the people, they don't have the money to even go into the stores and buy it these days, so it helps a lot, you know what I mean? And to feed the community weekly, it's a big thing. It's a blessing.
The United States Department of Agriculture classifies a food desert as an area of low income with no access to fresh food within 1 mile. South Florida is home to 326 of them. For over 12 years, Health in the Hood has held weekly harvests at their Opa-locka and Pinewood gardens in Florida. In that time, they've built 10 community gardens and distributed more than 10,000 pounds of food to families in need. The program gives residents the chance to learn about gardening and the benefits of cooking with fresh ingredients. And volunteers say it's about more than just food, it's about options.
But what is close is the fast food restaurants here, McDonald's and Burger King's. So just having somewhere where people can actually get like homegrown goods is very valuable to this community.
And Health in the Hood's mission doesn't just end in these gardens. Every leftover vegetable is distributed to those in need at their community partnership events with local organizations and shelters.
In Overtown, Miami's oldest Black neighborhood, the average annual income is about $12,000, less than half of Miami-Dade County's average of $28,000. Program Director Jason Shoemaker says in some areas of the city, access to healthy food is unequal.
I can guarantee you that somebody is eating a much healthier meal if they live in Coral Gables than somebody that lives in Overtown.
Shoemaker says the goal of the program is to change habits, not just diets, for over 200 weekly visitors.
Plant the seeds of change the thoughts around food, and try and get people to experience healthier eating.
And for families, that help makes a big difference.
It's necessary for us because the economy is so expensive right now. So any little help we get is good.
Just to give something to somebody, just in case if they need it.
And to keep these programs running, they depend on the same community they aim to help.
Some people, companies to sponsor a couple pantries for the year, that helps us spread what we can do a lot further and increase what we're doing.
For residents of Opa-locka, Pinewood, and Overtown, Health in the Hood is growing a healthier future, one harvest at a time.
And Health in the Hood says their goal isn't just to fill plates, but to change how people think about living healthier lifestyles. To learn more about their community initiatives, to donate, or to volunteer, visit www.healthinthehood.org. Live in Coral Gables, Melanie Lowe, UMTV.
Thank you, Melanie. And coming up on UMTV News.
College Game Day comes back to UM for the first time since 2017, and we'll show you how the Miami Hurricanes were able to wrangle the Florida Gators. Stay with us.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Thank you for staying with UMTV News. ESPN was all over campus last week setting up for its traveling college football show, College Game Day. Manny Nacarado is live to tell us more about what went down at Lakeside Patio on Saturday. Manny?
Thank you, Juliana. And with College Game Day making their rounds all across the country, this past weekend, Game Day stopped right here at the University of Miami to preview the big game between the Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes. I got an inside look at what goes on at College Game Day and to see how fans felt about Reese, Nick, Pat, Kirk, and Desmond making their way to campus. With the undefeated Hurricanes taking on their in-state rival Florida Gators on Saturday, ESPN's hit show College Game Day made its way back to the 305 for the weekend, and students lined up early at the University of Miami to try and get a front row spot.
Go at 3:30 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. 2:30.
College Game Day is here for the first time since 2017, and as you can see, no love lost here for College Game Day from the fans. Fans started lining up here at the school at about 3 to 4 a.m. So fans are excited for the season, and they're excited to be here at College Game Day.
I'm here to be hyped for the Hurricanes, to be hyped for the game, to be hyped for Pat McAfee, baby. He's gonna come, and they're gonna ask him, who do you got? And what's he gonna say? The Miami Hurricanes!
And Game Day host Pat McAfee did pick the Canes to win the only way he knows how, by making a splash. But besides the silly antics and pageantry that comes with the show every weekend, it's what it does for the community that means the most.
I think it just brings everybody together, and it's a really fun way to certainly spend our Saturday. And this will be national TV today, and it'll be awesome. The marketing, the brand acknowledgement, all of it. It's just a great way to showcase the U and all of our beautiful facilities and students.
And for the fans, Game Day coming back to Miami can only mean one thing.
It means that it's the pinnacle of all of this program's been leading up to for the past 4 years. I'd say that the Hurricanes have seen ups and lows throughout the past recency that we have, but right now, what Game Day means, it means that we're back, baby, we're back!
And with College Game Day making its presence known all over campus, it also brought attention to the university nationally. Canes football social media ranked #1 amongst ACC schools on social media video views, impressions, and engagement, and top 10 nationally in those categories. And with all eyes on Miami Saturday night, they did not disappoint by dismantling the Gators with a final score of 26-7. Miami has a bye week this week, but will face Florida State in 2 weeks, which has game day potential written all over it. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Manny Nacarado.
Thank you, Manny. And speaking of that Hurricanes-Gators showdown, the big win gave Miami a major boost in the AP poll. The Hurricanes jumped from #4 to #2 in college football. And here are the highlights from Hard Rock Stadium. Overall in Miami Gardens, it was a blowout. Carson Beck didn't do that much, but thank God he has Marty Brown and Malachi Toney and Mark Fletcher doing all the dirty work for him. The power of these guys pushing past the defense. The Gators could not do anything. The Swamp could not take on the 305, and that's shown in a 26-7 victory for the Hurricanes.
And finally, it's time for nature's fluffiest beauty pageant. Fat Bear Week gets underway Tuesday at Alaska's Katmai National Park. It's a bracket-style competition where voters get to pick their favorite brown bear bulking up for hibernation. Voters will get to see early and late summer photos of the bears. Fatter bears have the best chance to survive winter hibernation. This marks the 11th year of the competition. The bear named 128 Glazer won the last 2 years. This year's winner will be announced September 30th, which is next Tuesday.
I cannot wait to see who's going to win. Are you celebrating this week?
Oh, absolutely. Next Tuesday, I will be ready.
Oh my God, my eyes are glued to my TV. So that's all the time that we have for this episode of UMTV News.
Be sure to tune in again next Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Have a great night.